Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. In this video, it's going to be another episode of my How to Get Better at Black Ops 4 series. Your guys' support so far on this series has been absolutely amazing. All the likes, all the comments. I was just scrolling through the comments before this video and it's been absolutely amazing. A lot of people asking some good questions. Basically, if you guys haven't seen previous episodes or know about this series, what I do is I answer I take people's questions, comments, and concerns about the game from a previous episode, and then I answer them in the new video, and that's basically what I'm going to do. So it's sort of like a Q&A, but I hone in on answers that can help everyone get better and sort of, elevate their gameplay in Black Ops 4. If you guys could smack a like, let's go for 1,500 likes. You guys have been crushing the like goal on like every video on this series, so I really do appreciate it. 1,500 likes would be amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We're so close to 900k, so I'd really appreciate it if you guys are new to the channel. Smack that subscribe button. This gameplay right here is a really nice gameplay. I want to talk about the background gameplay for a second before we get into the questions. But by the way, if you want your questions possibly to be featured in the next episode, leave some questions and things you're struggling with or whatever about Black Ops 4 down in the comments below, right? So this gameplay, I actually found like a really good lobby, and both teams, weren't the best, and I was able to go 82-8 in domination with an 18 objective score, and I'm starting to like this map. I really think that this map, if you just play around the B domination, which is also the same, it's funny because the same location for B domination is the same location for B control, but it's a really cool area of the map, and it's definitely very fun like to play around, and you get the objective score, by killing people on the objective or when you're standing on it killing them, and that's extra points towards your streaks as well, which by the way, streaks on this map, the helicopter isn't as effective as most of the other maps are pretty open on this game, and that's one of the reasons I think the attack helicopter kind of feels like a Pavlo, but the strike team still does work on like pretty much every map. Anyway, let's get right into the questions. First one is from Xander. This was one of the top comments on the latest episode. He said, "Hey Goblin, any tips on positioning? Keep up the good work." And obviously he's 27 thumbs up. People wanted to hear this answer as well. I really do think that tips on positioning, this is an important thing, because Call of Duty, of course, it's all about aim, but in the majority of the time, even in a game like this with 150 health, it's still traditional Call of Duty. People, of course, they'll eat a few more bullets, but with the way the guns kill in this game, when you pull out an ICR or a Vapor, I mean, look how fast these people are dying from 150 health. It really feels like if this game was on 100 health, the time to kill would be super duper fast. It's just because it's on 150 health, right? And it really does. The time to kill, of course, depends completely on the weapon that you're using, but how this sinks into positioning is basically you want to be the person who shoots first will win the majority of the gunfights, and that's the person who usually is ready for the gunfight first or has the better positioning. Now, for tips on positioning, you always want to keep your back to a wall, keep your back to the outskirts of the map, keep your back to an area that is going to be statistically less traveled by, so that you're less likely to have an enemy approach on your back or your side and shoot you in those areas. And you basically want to play in an objective game mode, sort of play between the enemy spawn and between the objective that they're pushing. This works for control, this works for domination, this works for hardpoint. Of course, hardpoint is a little bit more tricky because these spawns are rotating around, so in hardpoint you have to be a little bit more smart about it, but in domination it's very easy. Most of the time you'll have two flags, you'll have them at one, and you can sort of positioning. I recommend finding your comfort area and gun setup on each map. So my comfort setup on this map is running a fast-paced AR and sort of playing between around B domination mostly, because I like this side of B domination and the other side. I find that that's a really good way to get people coming to the objective and just basically raking in the kills and then letting the kill streaks go ham, and then once they start to turtle, you can push up a little bit more. Positioning all depends on map control, but really it depends on being comfortable in your routes and understanding routes. Like right now I'm just running a route. It's check B domination, then check over here. Obviously I get blown up right there, but that's basically just a route. Check there, check there. Of course I have acoustic sensor, I'm listening for stuff, and that's how I'm able to do that. Like I said, this video we're only going through 4 comments. I think the last video was like 6 or 7 or something like that. But these are ones that I thought were really good questions and that I wanted to do sort of a deep dive into. So thank you for the question, Xander. Hopefully that helps a little bit there. Next is from Casey Anderson. He says, how do you know where to look first when your AQ, acoustic sensor, basically, acoustic sensor goes off? Mine lights up a lot and it seems like I get overwhelmed. And that's interesting. And this comment stuck out to me because a couple of my friends were giving me this complaint as well. Like they freak out or they got anxiety because of how much it's flashing the acoustic acoustic sensor. Now, in my personal opinion, how to use the acoustic sensor, and this is the best way to use it, and I think this tip will help Casey and will help a lot of other people. Now, if you play with the headphones or earbuds, or even if you play with iPod headphones, iPhone headphones, whatever it is, you should always be playing with audio. And of course, headphones, you're going to be able to hear a lot better than stereo sound, unless it's like super, super good stereo all around your room or something crazy like that, right? Headphones are good because you can decipher right from left very, very easily, right? So with the acoustic sensor, not only does it show you the sixth sense portion of it on the map, it also makes the enemy's footsteps louder. And that's why if you'll notice on my class setups, I run dead silence. So that allows me to not hear my own footsteps. And basically how to know where to look with the acoustic sensor is when you see the acoustic sensor light up, it will light up a lot. You basically know they're coming from that direction. It's just a general sort of call. And after you see the acoustic sensor light up, you want to pick them up from your visual of seeing that on the minimap to your audio sensors in your brain, whatever, and listen to basically where they're running. So it's acoustic sensor, you get the visual, and then you go to the audio, and the audio is very, very loud in this game. If you have dead silence, if you have acoustic sensor, if they don't have dead silence, and of course if they're popping up on the acoustic, they don't have dead silence, right? So it's very, very easy to track them down with that, and that's definitely the way to use the acoustic sensor. Think about it more than just as sixth sense, and obviously sometimes I'll be like listening to a podcast, so I might not have my game volume up all the way, and then I might just rely more on the visual one. But if I really want to go try hard, it's all about visual and audio and just going ham in those gameplays. So that's how you use the acoustic sensor, and that, I think if you can master it and figure out how to use it properly, I think I really do a good job at it. That's why I use it on pretty much every single game, because it's just so good. There's no reason not to on most setups, you know. Next question is from Adonis Riddell. He says, what guns have you gotten better with because of the predictive recoil? So what he's talking about is in this game, it works a little bit different than other Call of Duty games, at least according to Treyarch. I don't know if anyone's actually field tested this yet, but there's predictive recoil, or the recoil always goes in a similar to exact patterns, right? And this is similar to how CSGO used to do it, and it's a lot different to how Call of Duty used to do it, right? Call of Duty used to have sort of random recoil. Some guns would, like the F2000 from MW2 was horrible. It could shoot up to the left or then shoot up to the right or then, you know, go straight up vertically. It was absolutely horrible. So with this predictive recoil, this stresses a point that I talked about a lot in my Call of Duty World War II videos, and that was about basically, I talked about this in Black Ops 3 as well a lot with the Vesper, but with a lot of SMGs in this game it applies in Black Ops 4, and that's pulling down against the recoil. If you go into a private match and you take your Spitfire or Cordite, these are weapons that, by the way, I just uploaded a Cordite class up earlier, so check that video out. I found a class up to make that gun, which was not the best gun, into a melting machine really around jump shotting and close range combat, so it's pretty cool. You guys should check out that video. But you can take those into a private match, test out the recoil with grip and without, and sort of understand the patterns and know how to pull down on your right stick as you are shooting. When I play with the Cordite and when I play with the Spitfire and the Vesper from Black Ops 3, but that's something that I recommend everyone should do, and especially if you're someone that like uses a gun with high recoil quite a bit. If you use the ICR, this doesn't matter because there's no recoil, right? Unless you push up on the left stick or do something stupid, there's gonna be no recoil in the ICR, especially with grip 1 and 2, but you should be running it's a god gun. But that's something you can definitely do with the recoil. Practice in a private match, learn the recoil patterns and learn how to pull down and sort of minimize the recoil. Make your skill set become the grip. Next is from Exotic Streaks. He says, do you recommend flanking or going straight up to the objective? Now this is a good question as well, and this is something that I think a lot of people get wrong about objective play. They think that objective play is just, you know, throwing your body onto the objective, when that's not really what it's about. A lot of gameplays where I'm getting a lot of kills, even if I don't get that many captures, if I'm killing people off the flags, using kill streaks to get map control, you know, I'm being a big part in that win, and anyone is killing, it pushes the spawns back, and capturing, of course, gets you points on the board. So as far as do you recommend flanking or going straight at the objective, you have to depend on what your teammates are doing. If your teammates have already all pushed on and have control of the objective, you can feel free to push right through that objective, but that probably means wherever your teammates are probably means, you know, where either the enemies are going to be, or with the enemies if they had just had a fight, the enemies would be spawning out, of course. So you have to remember that, and you can sort of base where the enemy spawns are if you get really good at this, based on where your teammates are playing. So do I recommend flanking in certain situations? Yes. If there's a whole team, if there's 5 of them on B flag, your team is all in the back, you can't run straight at 5 of them, so you should have to flank. But if your team is making a stand standard push, or maybe you have 4 people pushing, maybe you could hit the quick flank through the middle or something like that. It all depends, and it's all situational, but playing the objective is not just throwing yourself on the objective, it's getting control and holding down those points, which you can do a lot with the way these maps and these guns and class setups are set up. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Smack a like if you guys did, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, leave down in the comment section down below any questions or stuff you guys want me to answer in the next episode, and that's about it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.